It is February 15th, 2019, and we are enjoying working with these beautiful persimmon cuttings that a friend of Brittany's, whose mother lives in California, her name is Emily. She visited her mother and sent Brittany probably about 25 or 30 of these beautiful cuttings. They all have little buds on them. And they are from Japan. Her mother brought them about 25 years ago, and she's got quite a few trees, and we tasted them, and they are phenomenal. You can't get these kind of persimmons here on the East Coast. And so we're cutting them and hopefully going to root all of these. We want to be. I cleaned all of my cutting equipment and actually the counter, and I washed my hands really good with hot soapy water. And you can use either the liquid isopropyl alcohol, at least 70%, or you can get the alcohol pads, which you can buy a box of them at any grocery or pharmacy. And you want very clean, because what happens when you cut trees is the sap and the stuff from the bark gets on your cutters and on your hands too. I washed the whole thing, including the grip, when I prepared to do this. And as you're cutting baby twigs, you don't want to transfer any kind of pathogen or disease from something you've cut prior to cutting these. So that's why we do the alcohol.
All right, so here we have an example of one of the cuttings, and you can see all of the little buds along it.
Yes. It's loaded with buds.
And down on her hand where it was in water, we soaked them for 24 hours to get them rehydrated. Now show us where you would cut them.
This is one of the branches that she sent. It has a lot of tiny little buds on it, which we're thrilled to see, all the way up to the end here. And what I'm gonna do is cut about 7 or 8 inches. So I will cut at this intersection, and I will score the bottom about 1/4 of an inch on the outside. And we will dip them in rooting gel or rooting hormone. I've got this, I got at the Mance conference, which is for people who work with plants and designs and stuff like that. And I've had this has worked really good for me. It's a root tone hormone. I've used it for years. Okay, this is an interesting branch. This has both old growth and new growth, and it's considered a hardwood cutting. We're going to cut it right here where you can see there's new growth up here, and this is the old growth from last year or the year before. And this, I think, is just this past year. So I'm going to make a cut here, and I'm going to make a cut here, and this will be one. And then I'm going to cut off some of the bottom here and use this, because this has several buds on it that might come through. I'm going to leave these little ones here too. So we'll go ahead and do that now. So here we go. We're going to cut this new growth right where it shows me here that it's new growth versus the old growth. It's almost like it almost looks like it's been grafted right here. And I'm going to cut it at a slight angle. And that's basically so that when this becomes the top of a new tree, you see it's at a slight 45-degree angle. The rain will wash off of it and not settle on the top there. Then I'm going to cut it right here between this branch here and this branch off of the old growth. And I'm going to give that a cut right there. And now I'm gonna cut some of this down here, just a little bit, and I'm gonna take these two off. So I can get it into the soil nice and straight. And then this is the bottom. Recut it so that it, so there you have all these little buds, and you have two little twigs coming off, and then we have this one. So we get 3 cuttings, and hopefully they'll root and give us 3 little trees from the one branch she sent us. And again, these are called hardwood cuttings. This is the alcohol swabs that I'm going to be using. I have a very, very sharp knife that I can control the cutting at the bottom of each twig that we are starting. We're going to score 3 little scores around the bottom where we take off the bark a little, about 1/4 of an inch down. So I'm going to clean the knife. This knife is about 75 years old. It's my one sharpest knife. It was my dad's, and I can't find any more knives like it. So we're gonna be careful with this. I'm going to do a couple of scores on the bottom to encourage root growth out of the scores. So we're gonna take it and just score through the bark. There we go. And I have some root tone, hormone rooting in a baggie. And we're gonna stick this in and do a shake and bake. That works perfectly. And then I'm gonna come over here to the soil that I have. It's all compost. And I'm going to just stick it in up to about here, which is up 3 or 4 buds, and we're gonna just push it in because it's very soft soil, compost, and there you have it.
And that's the one we did previously, right next to the one we just did. And we'll come back when this pot is full. So here we have all of our persimmons that we did with rooting hormone, and they're pretty cheek to jowl in here, but the estimates say you should get 1 cutting to root out of every 5 or 10, so hopefully we'll get 5 or 6 out of this pot. And then we're gonna do just as many without rooting hormone, whole nother pot. So there we go.